Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Blessius. Here on this channel I share different ideas of how to cut and sew. So if you are someone that is interested in anything about fashion, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so as to get notified whenever we post new video. So guys, in today's tutorial I'll be sharing with you guys how I made this short pants. So if that is what you are interested in, learning how to make these short pants, let's get started with the tutorials. So these are the essential measurements we'll be needing for this tutorial. I'm just going to fold my fabric into two. In order to know the amount of fabric to be in a fold, I'm just going to divide my thigh circumference by 2, adding extra 3 inches allowance. So after doing that, I'm just going to start placing the vertical measurements. And this short is going to be having a band of about 2 inches. So I'm just going to subtract that 2 inches before taking any vertical measurements. So I'm just going ahead to rule the starting line as you see me doing. Then I'll just go ahead to place the vertical measurements, taking note of that 2 inches. So from my waistline, I'll measure down to my hip line, which is 9 inches. Then still from my waistline, I'll measure down to my crouch depth, which is 11 inches. Then to the length of this short, which is 18 inches. So I added extra 2 inches allowance, making it 20 inches. So after that, I'm just going to check if my measurements are in place. So I'll start placing the horizontal measurements. So I went ahead to divide my hip circumference by 4, adding an extra inch for stitching allowance. And after that, I went to the crouch depth. On the crouch depth, I divided my thigh circumference by 2 and I added extra 1.5 inches for stitching allowance. I would like this short to have a kind of a shape. So coming to the waistline now, I'm going to mark 1 inch for the waistline. Then I'll go down to the length of the shorts. I'm going to mark about 1.5 inches there. Then I'm just going to take my ruler and connect from the waistline to the hip line. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Then I'll just go ahead to place my waist measurement. My waist measurement divided by 4, I have 7 inches. Then adding 1 inch for that intake, then 1 inch for stitching allowance. So that will give me about 9 inches. Then I'll just mark it. Then I'll take my ruler and connect the dots together as you see me doing. I'm just going to extend the line to the crouch depth. So in between the hip line and the crouch depth, I'm just going to use my chalk to form a curve there, which is the crotch curve. So coming down to my round knee, I'm going to place my round knee measurements there, which is 18 inches divided by 2. Then I'm going to mark it, adding 1 extra inch for stitching allowance. Then I'll just go ahead to connect it to the crouch curve as you see me doing. So guys, this is it for the front part of the shirt. So I'm just going to cut it out. So guys, since we already cut out the front part of this shirt, cutting out the back will be easier. Hence we will be using the front to cut on the back. So I'm just going to fold this fabric into 2 again. I'm going to fold it to 2, then I'm going to bring the front part of the shirt and place it on it. So I'm just going to place it this way. So coming to the crouch depth now, I will come out by 2 inches. So from there, I'll just mark 2 inches till I get to the waistline, then down to the knee line. So coming to the round knee, I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches there. This is because I don't want the short to be too free. So I'm just going to mark 1.5 inches. Then I'll mark 2 inches for the other sides of the short. And I'm just going to connect to that 1.5 inches. Then I'll extend that line. Then coming to the waistline, I'm just going to extend from the waistline of the front to that of the back, as you see me doing. Then I'm just going to go up by 2 inches. Then I'm going to take my ruler to connect it to the waistline of the front piece, as you see me doing. Now extend the line. So this is it for the back piece. I'm just going to go ahead to cut it out now. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut it out. The next thing I'm going to do right now, remember the short is having a side pocket. So I'm just going to take out the back side of the short, then I'm going to work on the front side of it. So I'm just going to turn it like this, then I'm bringing my tape. I'm going to measure 2 inches away from this side of the short. Then I'm going down by 6 inches. Then I'll just connect it with a curve, as you see me doing. After that, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut it off. So guys, I also went ahead to cut out a piece of 15 by 11 inches that I'll be using for the pocket. So the long side is 15 inches, then the wide side is 11 inches. So I have 2 pieces here. So I'm just going to turn it this way and place my front part of the short on it. Then I'm going to align that curve, and I'm going to use it to trim out on the pieces, as you see me doing. Then after doing this, guys, I'll just remove the front part of the shirt. Then I'm going to fold the pocket this way. Then I'm just going to take my chalk. I would like to give it a kind of a curve. So I'll just take my chalk and give it a kind of a curve. Then I'll have to cut it out. Guys, this is optional, so you can try to leave yours like that, but I just decided to give mine a curve. So after I was done doing it, you see how it's looking. So I'm just going to mark the back side so that I'll not make mistake while joining them. So I'm just going to open this up to start joining the pockets to them. First I'll mark the back so that I'll not make mistakes. So I'm just going to bring one of my pockets. Guys, take note, this long side is the crash depth while this short side is the pocket area. So don't make the mistake of facing the pocket on the crouch depth. So I'm just going to place my pocket this way, then I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it down. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch them down and you can see they are both stitched down. So I'm just going to take them back to the sewing machine and make a top stitch on the pocket side. So I'll also go ahead to mark the darts for this short. So in order to mark the darts, I'll divide my nipple to nipple measurement by 2, which is 3.5 inches. Then I'll mark it there. Then I'll extend the line to about 4 inches long. Now just take it to the sewing machine and stitch it down. Then repeat the same thing for this other one. So I have gone ahead to do that, guys. You can see I've stitched down the darts. I also went ahead to top stitch these pockets. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring one of the side and I'm going to open it this way. And I'll bring the other side of the pocket. Remember it was 2, so I'll bring the other side of the pocket and then place it this way, ensuring that they align. So you can see how I did it. I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch this area. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch down the pocket. As you can see, I also went ahead to notch it. So I'm just going to turn it over. So after turning it out, this is how it looks. So guys, this is how it looks. So I'm just going to pin down this pocket area so that it will not move out of place. Just going to pin it down. So guys, the next thing was to place the front sides of the short together, right sides facing each other. Now just take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it down with about half of an inch. So I've gone ahead to join the two fronts. I also went ahead to iron them out, as you can see. So guys, you remember that when I was cutting out the pocket area, I measured out 2 inches from each sides of the shirt. So I'm going to replace the 2 inches right now. As you see me doing, I'm going to replace the 2 inches. Then I'm going to blend it to the hip line. And I'm just going to cut it out. Now I'm just going to go ahead to bring the back part of the shirt and place it on the front as you see me doing. Then I'm going to stitch it down from the waistline to the length of the shirt with about 1 inch. I have done that, guys, and you can see how it is. So the remaining opening left right now is the down, so I'm just going to take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it down with about 1 inch also. Coming to the waistline, I'm going to lose one side of the waist, then I'll use my tape to measure around the waist to know the amount of band that I'll be cutting out for the shirt. I did that, and what I had was 33 inches. So I'm just going to be cutting out a band of 33 inches and by 4 inches wide. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch down this area. So I also went ahead to iron gum stay into the band I cut. So I advise you do same if you are trying this out. So it's time to attach the band to the waist of the shirt. So if you watch closely, you notice that I folded in one end of the band with gum stay. So the other end that there is no gum stay, that's where I'm going to stitch to the waist of this shirt. So I'm just going to pin this side down. I'm going to pin this side down and take it over to the sewing machine to stitch it down also. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch it down as you can see. So the next thing I'll do is to trim off these little excesses that I have here. So I've done that. Then the next thing I'll be doing right now is to turn to the back of the shirt. So I'm just trying to arrange and this. So coming to the dart area, I'm just going to extend this dart up to the band I have there. Then I'll take the measurement. Yeah, I have about 7.5 inches. Then I'm going to subtract 3 inches from that, which will give me 4.5 inches. So I'll be cutting out this elastic using 4.5 inches as you see me doing. So just the way I place this elastic, I'm going to stitch them down in between the darts. I'm going to be stitching them at both ends of the darts. So I've done that and you can see how it came out. Guys, the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to trim off these little excesses that I have here. After which I'll go ahead to attach my zipper to the side of the shorts. Then I'll go ahead to fold in the down of this shirt. So guys, I've gone ahead to attach the zipper to the shirt. They also went ahead to stitch down the down of this shirt. So guys, with this we have come to the end of this tutorial. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next one. Thank you.